How's it going, everybody? It is finally opening day. I'm so excited, and I'm excited to introduce my guest to talk opening day with, the one and only. His name is Matt Long, representing the best team in all of major leagues, the Texas Rangers. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming on the podcast again.
Oh man, it feels good to be back finally after being sick for 3 weeks.
I know, man. I felt like there was always something big going on. I'm like, hey, what are you thinking? And blah blah blah. And like, we'd always keep in touch with like sports stuff all the time, like whether that be March Madness or UFC and anything like that. But today we'll be talking all about that, but more. We've got opening day. We're representing, like I said, that the best team in all of major leagues, the Texas Rangers. Um, what are your thoughts? Are you excited? How excited? Obviously, you must be excited, right?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, it's just great to have baseball back. Just a game of baseball. It's not only my Rangers we're talking about, but all the major league teams. Like, I cannot wait to watch the very first game that comes on TV. And like, even if I have to stream it, I will.
I know. I'm so excited. It feels like every time spring training comes around, I get so excited because it feels like it's watching baseball. That's what I feel like. I'm like, oh, it's finally just around the corner. Like it's right there. But it's not. I know it's a spring training. We're not going to see like all the. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, it's like it's baseball, you know. But then again, what we had this year was a Road Baseball Classic, and that was a whole pageantry in itself. It seems like it got me ready for baseball. What about you? Did you watch any of the World Baseball Classic at all?
I definitely did, and it was so much fun to watch. You had like teams like Puerto Rico, Mexico, Japan, who won the whole thing against USA, which I was rooting for USA, of course. But you got teams like that were just completely stacked and very good. Venezuela, where Ronald Acuna Jr. was from. Um, just teams like that. It was so fun to watch.
There was fun to watch. I mean, obviously, I was representing for Team USA also. I mean, we had a great run. It seemed like we made it all to the finals. Unfortunately, we lost to Japan, like you mentioned, but we were tearing it off. I felt like Trey Turner, the shortstop, was absolutely killing it. I was a big Trey Turner fan because he used to play for the Washington Nationals, but but now he's playing for the Philadelphia Phillies with Bryce Harper. But to make a long story short, he was absolutely killing the World Baseball Classic, and I was like, we're so excited that we're gonna, that we're in the finals, but unfortunately, we fell a little short. Shohei Ohtani did his thing against us, and what an ending, right? I mean, Mike Trout versus Shohei and Ohtani in the very last at bat. I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
Oh man, it don't get better than that. I mean, like two of the most known best players in all the Major League Baseball. It was just fun to watch, and I knew Otani was gonna put on the show, man. He always does, and it's just so fun to watch.
It is most definitely fun to watch. I mean, he's one of those guys that Shohei is like one of those people. It's like once in a lifetime kind of person, athlete to watch. I mean, obviously a two-way player. He can play outfield, pitch, and do all of the above. Hit. I mean, it's so exciting to watch. It feels like those are two teammates. For the Angels. Playing against each other. It's one of those things. Like I don't know. It's so exciting. I was excited watching it live with my family and my brother and all that. But it's like, man, that's just so fun to watch. I don't know. It got me a little giddy about it. If I can use that word. Like, oh man, this is so awesome. Just ready for the season to start. But we finally got it today. I mean, we got the Rangers. Really excited for the Rangers today. I believe is it Jacob DeGrom starting today for us?
Yes, it is. Jacob deGrom. I need a jersey too, man.
I know. I keep talking to my brother and my dad about that. I'm like, we got to go watch a Ranger game this season, this summer, because it feels like if that'd be cool if like somehow by chance we go watch a game or two this summer. We watch Jacob Degrom play because in the past I got to watch some. Luckily, I got to watch some great pitchers play. Athletes play all in general for the Rangers, but I got to see pitchers. Excuse me, like you Darvish pitch. I got to see people like Mike Minor pitch, all these different people pitch for the Rangers. And I'm like, oh, That'd be so cool to watch DeGrom play. He killed it in New York, and it feels like hopefully he could just continue that same streak, he had in New York here in Texas for us.
He definitely did, and like it's not only DeGrom and I'm excited for. I'm excited for my favorite player, Corey Seager.
Oh yeah.
He did great in his first year for the Rangers. Second year, I expect a lot more, of course, because like he's just an exciting player. Garcia,
Yeah.
yes, definitely a atomic bomb when he's at bat. He just knocks that ball out of the park in almost at every at bat. And then Marcus Simeon, he's been on it as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready to. I mean, I last summer I got to go watch a game with my brother and some other friends, and I felt like that was the most exciting game to be at. Like one let us watch, one to even be at, because that's my first time watching Corey Seager and Marcus Simeon and all those guys play. Dallas Garcia. We beat the Nationals, the Washington Nationals. So I got to watch Juan Soto again. Got to watch Nelson Cruz again, even though he was playing for the other team, he was still playing for the Nationals at the time. So it just brought back watching a lot of memories. Having Nelson Cruz back in the Rangers Stadium again. That's pretty cool. But Adolis Garcia hit a walk off homer, and I was like, you should have been there at that game because it felt I was like, oh, that's what I love about sports. Like, oh my god, like, can he do it? I know he can do it, but the fact that he hit a walk off homer that game to end it all, I'm like, yeah, this guy is something special. I think he's gonna have a monster season this year.
I mean, walk-offs are a beauty thing when it comes to baseball, but like sometimes it's hard to be on the opposite end of it, like your favorite team not doing the walk-off, like being the opposite end of it and
Yeah,
losing off of a walk-off. It's tough sometimes.
it is. I mean, I remember it wasn't a walk off, but being on the opposite end, one home run that always because we've definitely as Rangers fans we've been on that opposite side. That's how sports go. Sometimes you see both sides of the coin. Um, One that I thought of was like 2010 or 11. The World Series when
Oh,
David Freese hit that home run against us. That's just he said we've seen our ups and downs, but hopefully this season we're going to see a lot more ups than anything. Hopefully,
oh man, the timing on that too. The way he pulled that out of the fire and just delivered.
yeah.
It was just crazy.
It was definitely. I'm still salty about it to this day. but yeah. Unfortunately, we're not gonna get too much on that because we're big Rangers fans, obviously. But I'm excited to see all the way around how the Rangers do this season. What are your projections this season for the Rangers? What do you think their record's gonna be? How far are they gonna go?
Man, that's tough. I could see ourselves like getting in the wild card spot. I really do have good expectations on making the playoffs this year. I feel like we have a good pitching rotation. We have good batters too. It's just it's all about um being consistent. It's all about playing your role, playing your part on the team, and just really just being consistent throughout the year. The Rangers were known for like winning a bunch of games at the beginning and then falling way down in the
Yeah,
middle of the season to where they can't really catch up
yeah. That's
a
pretty
little
much how.
too late.
Sorry, yeah, that's pretty much how the Rangers are. We start off really hot and then kind of get cool. That's a season, but hopefully, like you said, we have as long as we are consistent and we have our you know, we have a good pitching rotation. We have good hitters, so I think you're right. I think if we just stay consistent, because it feels like all it takes is good pitching and good hitting to really, I think, go far. You have a good, go good run in the postseason. Hopefully that will lead to another, have a good positive ending to our World Series this time.
Oh, I hope, man.
I know. I felt like
Oh,
when I was in middle school, whenever like sixth, seventh, I can't remember, seventh or eighth grade, whenever we went back to back those 2 years. I'm like, oh man, I just wanted like Nelson Cruz. I love the guy. I love him. I got to watch him play numerous times in the Rangers uniform. just that one time he didn't catch that ball. I feel like 9 times, like almost 99.9 times he catch that ball. He was in the right field. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to that one time. So hopefully, Adolis Garcia, if that ever happens to him, I bet hopefully he can catch it. The last out of the World
Yeah,
Series.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good.
It's
You're good.
just the emotion. Like this is the moment. Like you have to catch that ball. And like sometimes you let the moment get the best of you and it doesn't go your way.
Yeah, it's unfortunately like kind of like how it's just stinks because I feel like baseball is so unpredictable sometimes because there's so many stuff that can like has to go right. Like there's so many things that have to go right in order for everything to succeed. Sometimes, whether it's getting a double play or positioning, so many things that have to go right. Unfortunately, he just maybe misread that ball or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm still a big Nelson Cruz fan to this day.
Yeah, me too. He's still playing, right? He's like on a different team somewhere.
Yeah, I think he's got a 1 year deal with the Padres. I want to say.
Padres, okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's just another stacked team too. The Padres, with everybody.
Without a doubt, Tatis, Manny Machado, Hosmer. It's gonna be wild with Blake Snell too.
Yeah, Juan Soto, all those guys, they're just completely just
Oh yeah, Juan Soto.
they're just
How
stacked all
could
the
I
way.
forget about Juan Soto?
I know he's completely just stacked. They're that team stacked to the guild. It seems like. What do you think? Before we transition to our next topic, I was going to say, like, what are your thoughts about like in baseball, like super teams? Like your thought on super teams. What are your thoughts on them? And I just want to get your insight on that. Like the Padres or Dodgers or anybody like that.
I feel like some of them super teams have the advantage because they got the most star players, but it's all about the chemistry in order to making a solid team work out and going all the way. I felt like the Dodgers did that in 2020
Yeah,
because when they got Mookie Betts, they were killing it, and then like that was the year that they went to the World Series and they won it all against the Tampa Bay Rays. So the Dodgers actually succeeded in those expectations, and like it's a little different now that Cody Bellinger is on the Chicago Cubs and he's got Freddie Freeman, or the Dodgers got Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. I think they still have Kershaw too.
yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
I think so. No, you're good.
Sorry, I was like, I was to say like a comment like, yeah, I forgot Belly plays for the Cubs now. I've kind of forgot.
Yeah, I have a friend named Gilbert. He's a big time Chicago Cubs fan, and like he's been telling me that he's been ready to watch the Cubs play, and like I kind of want to see it too. Cody Bellinger in the Chicago Cubs jersey, and they got Swanson from the
Oh
Atlanta
yeah,
Braves. Yeah, their team's stacked too.
I forgot about that. The news. They got a new shortstop. I forgot about that. He said that team's going to be crazy to watch this year too. That's speaking of like not they're not. It's so crazy. I forgot Cody. You got Cody Bellinger and all those guys. Man, this is going to be an exciting season to watch. I think for sure.
Oh, for a fact.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited to see what outcomes go and everything. We got a long season. It's a long season, 162 games. So I'm kind of wondering like how it's going to go. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. That's why I can't make the win projections for the Rangers. It's like you never know what's going to happen with all those games that are about to come your way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to take it game by game, series by series, almost. Trying to see how we're going to go. But hopefully, we win today, and hopefully that's what gets the ball rolling. Hopefully, in the positive way.
The two teams that I hate playing the most is, of course, the Astros
Yeah,
and the Yankees because they're so dang good.
yeah.
But like, oh man, I I don't really like the Astros. And Aaron Judge, I really like as a player, as a person. He seems like a cool dude. It's just like I can't like the Yankees for some reason.
I don't.
Sorry to all you Yankee fans out there.
No, you're good. I hate the Yankees too, and I know some Yankees fans too that are some of my friends. But and I, in my head, I'm like, how are y'all Yankees fans? Like, how do you support the Yankees or Astros? I mean, I hate the Astros. The last game I saw in the old like the before they moved to Globe Life Field Park
Yeah,
before they moved to the new stadium. The last game I watched in the old stadium was that's right next door to it was the Rangers versus Astros, and I was like, man, this is so crazy. I mean, I got to watch Jose Altuve play. I'm like, it's so like I don't get how people there's a lot of orange that day, orange and blue, and I'm like, I don't get like. Hopefully, everybody can hide their trash cans. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
that's a good one.
But yeah, I was just crazy. I remember watching it. I'm like, oh man, this is so crazy. But then, but yeah. One thing I'm also excited for that we've talked about, kind of transition a little bit. Uh,
Yeah.
so uh, one thing what I'm excited about, I think you are too, is that we we were crowned a new UFC heavyweight champion in the last few weeks before we to last time since the last time we talked, and you and I were always talking like, man, what if this could happen? This could happen. And John Jones finally became the new UFC heavyweight champion. Um, this is going to be probably a big part of the podcast, maybe. But what are your thoughts on the whole thing going into it? Like, I want to hear like your experience with it all. Like, kind of take me through that. Like, what were your expectations, your thoughts, and everything like that? Like, were you thinking like there's going to be a dominant performance going into it?
Um, First of all, this is a must talk about because we've been talking about it a lot. Um, I really thought John Jones was gonna dominate because like he has the reach in striking. He has the wrestling that Cyril Gahn lacks. So I had a feeling it was gonna be a dominant performance, but I didn't expect it to last like what was it, a minute or
A little over a minute,
two
maybe if
minutes?
that.
Yeah, it was
Super
crazy. And
short.
then not only did we have a new heavyweight champion, we also had a new flyweight women's champion when
Yeah.
Alexa Grasso submitted Valentina Shevchenko.
That's so exciting. That was so crazy to watch that pay per view because that was 285 UFC 285 was like I felt like a pay per view that people are going to be talking about for a while.
Oh, absolutely. That card was stacked with Bo Nickel too to
Bo
open it
Nickel,
up.
yeah, 285 was like a pay per view that felt like, but you had Bo Nickel starting the pay per view off with a quick victory, a submission victory, and I'm like, the hype around him is really real. I think either I can't remember if Joe Rogan or John Anik or DC said something like that, but like the hype is real, because the fact that Bo Nickel, excuse me, was this great collegiate wrestler, and went to started training in MMA and started doing all this and got had two fights or a few fights in the Dana White contender series, right?
I think it was two, yeah.
Yeah, two, and earned himself a contract, and finally, fresh fight out of the gate, um, he submits his opponent in the first round. I'm like, this guy is great. He's gonna be if he keeps going up like this way, like keep going up, his stock is gonna be he's gonna be a world champion in no time,
I
maybe.
think it was Jamie Pickett that he
Yeah,
submitted, and then John Anik said it was John Anik that said
yeah,
the hype is real.
yeah. Because people were talking about like you're starting the pay per view off one and two, you're on a John Jones card. I mean, it feels like what a way to start your career, right? I mean, that feels like the spotlight can't get any brighter on you or bigger on you,
He's in the video game now.
and it's just crazy. The fact that when I was in high school on the high school wrestling team, people used to talk about Bo Nickel like he was like on en route to becoming a national champion in wrestling in college. Now he's en route to being a potential UFC heavyweight. I mean, not potential. I mean, he just started his one fight. He's 1-0, but he's already potentially en route to a middleweight title fight. Hopefully that. I mean, that's what I hope. Hopefully, but I don't know. I'll give you way off. What do you think?
I mean, he definitely has the skill to being the world champion. But can't wait for his next fight. I think it might be in July with a potential John Jones and Stipe card,
Yeah.
if I'm looking at it right.
That's what I was kind of looking at too the other day. Literally, I was just looking at this like a day or two ago. The fact that we have John Jones obviously called out Stipe after the fight. Not so much called him out like a bad way. It was just more like I saw in an interview. John Jones was like, because I fought, and because John Jones, obviously, people who don't know, you know this, Matt, but people, John used to fight a light heavyweight, so he pretty much fought everybody and light heavyweight and demolished him. And he was considered the GOAT of light heavyweight. And he's like, I want to fight the GOAT of heavyweight, that's Stipe. And it feels like that's going to be a fight that everybody wants to see. And John Jones was like, yeah, I got to go back to the fighting cards because that's who we were preparing for to begin with. I'm like, hopefully, I just want Dana White to make this fight legit.
Announce it.
Yeah. So I'm stoked to see like one if that comes to fruition and two if it does, you know what's going to happen. Is it going to be is it going to be going? Is it going to be striking? Is it going to be to the ground? Are they going to be wrestling? I just wonder what's going to be like.
I think it's going to be for sure both. I feel like Stipe is a good wrestler as well. He showed that as a champion when he fought Francis Ngannou in
Yeah.
their first fight. So he definitely showed that off pretty well. So it could be a little bit of wrestling. I feel like it's going to be like a mostly striking battle.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, Stipe, the thing with John Jones, let me back up. So John Jones going into the Cyril Gane fight when he won the title, Cyril Gane's not really known for his rest. Like, not he is, but he's not at the level of John Jones or Stipe is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not known really. Like, he's going to go in there and try to out wrestle you. But that's what I think. I could be wrong. But so the fact that if Stipe could be at John Jones's level or other way around, I think that Stipe can really have a fair chance at more of a fair chance at getting the title back than Cyril Gane did.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then if it does happen, could possibly see a rematch too between
Yeah,
those guys.
most definitely. I mean, it's so crazy that we're even here. We're talking about like John Jones and Stipe for a heavyweight title fight. So crazy to me. It just baffles me.
Oh man, I just the fireworks. And then like think about that whole entire card. It hasn't even been announced yet. Can you even believe what's gonna be on that card?
I don't know. It's gonna be. I bet if it I don't know if it's what they said sometime in July, right?
Yeah, International Fight Week of July.
Yeah, that's so crazy. The fact that we're it's pretty much April. It's March 31st as of this recording, so we're just a couple months out. We're not that far out. I mean, a few months maybe, but the fact that we're just a few months out excites me. I'm like, that is going to be a big card. Like we only have time to. Dana White only has time to make a legit, card, a big time card.
Yeah, and we got two more pay-per-views to talk about too.
Yeah,
286 and 287 coming up.
yeah. What are you excited about 286 and 287?
Oh, 286 happened
Oh yeah,
with
that's right. That's right.
the
I
trilogy.
lost my train of thought there for a second. I thought I got my mixed up. With 286, what were you excited about?
Just how the London card played out and how the trilogy fight was going to be.
Yeah,
Uh, the
I think
bright side, Usman didn't get knocked out again, but uh, just Usman didn't get his belt back, which I'm sure most of us all expected him to get it, but Leon Edwards still has the belt and possibly a fight with Kobe Covington next.
I kind of forgot that 286 had happened already because I'm still. I didn't watch that whole lot of that one, but I was so excited. I was excited with 285. I kind of forgot that 286 already happened, but you know, but 286. I think I didn't get to watch it a whole lot, but I remember like talking to you about it afterwards. Like maybe I don't know, maybe been that night or the next day, but I was like, yeah, what happened? Blah blah blah. And you're like, it went the distance. And like, it went the distance. I thought it would have been like a quick knockout or submission from either one of those guys, you know. But I did see that Leon tried going for the head kick again in the fifth round, like he did in the first fight. Um,
Yes.
when you saw that, like, was it like deja vu, or were you thinking like, was it like, oh, he's trying to knock him out, or what were you thinking about that when that whole moment went down?
When I saw that, like I put my like hand over like my face and stuff. I was like, oh, it happened again. And then I didn't see Usman like drop back or anything like how you would get knocked out. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
he just ate it.
it's
I
so
was
crazy.
like,
I mean,
wow.
yeah, I was like, because I saw a post about it on, I can't think on Instagram or something like that. That there was a screen grab, a picture of it, and I was like, because I think UFC might have posted. I'm not sure, but they had the first head kick that knocked out Usman that Leon won. And they had like
The
another
headshot in
picture,
the head.
and the second one, I'm like, holy crap, that looks identical, almost identical. I'm like, I messaged you immediately. I think what happened, blah blah blah, and that's when we started talking. Like, he went the distance. I'm like, what? Like, you're like, yeah, Leon won. I'm like, hold on, Leon won. And I was like, oh, I forgot they're in England, is probably, his home country.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then it seemed like Usman was a little scared, like after losing your belt in the first fight and being so confident, or not the first fight, the second fight when he was like dominating and being confident. I think that head kick kind of took most of that confidence away. And the third one, he was kind of mostly being a wrestler instead of being a striker in that trilogy fight.
Yeah, I think he was probably being more. I didn't see the most recent fight between those two, but I guess by the sounds of it, it sounds like he was being, was it just more careful, you think?
Yeah, more careful. Um, he knows how good of a striker Leon is now, and like he wasn't really striking at Leon like he did in the second fight back in Utah last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think with so crazy. I mean, Usman is, I feel like to me is like one of those athletes who just go in and dominate. So the fact that he was just being careful, I think was completely crazy. I think, do you think had he taken the initiative, more, do you think he would have won the fight, or do you think he was just being careful all the way around? That's what kind of cost him.
At first, I thought like he had the fight because he was taking Leon down a lot, but when I saw the numbers, I was like, oh, Leon like threw like connected most of the strikes. Like he connected, had the best strikes out of the whole fight, and even Michael Bisping was saying that. So Michael Bisping was all talking about that. If I had to guess, I'd put my money on Leon, and sure enough, Leon has the belt still.
Yeah. Do you think? So Joe Rogan wasn't there, but so was it the commentary? Was it just Michael Bisping and John Anik, or was DC there too?
DC was there too.
So it was pretty much the same one, but it was Michael Bisping instead of Joe, right?
Yeah. Usually in international cards, for some reason, Joe Rogan doesn't like fly
Oh,
or doesn't go over
yeah.
there.
I mean,
It's just sad.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody's gonna take Joe's spot, I mean, I would like Michael Bisping to be there.
Facts. I like Michael Bisping. He's such a great guy, man. And I thought he got inducted to the Hall of Fame as well.
Did he?
Anderson Silva did too.
Yeah. And also, Cowboys surrounding got inducted to the Hall of Fame too.
Oh man, that was beautiful. In a San Antonio fight night card. I was not expecting that.
No, me either. I was so excited too. Like, we talk about Cowboy a lot and all that Bisping and all these guys, but I didn't know till like I didn't know anything like any of these people were being inducted until like on social media one day. I was like, I saw that Anderson Silva got inducted. I'm like, oh, how cool! He's obviously one of the goats when it comes to MMA. And then a little bit
Easily.
later, I saw Cowboy got inducted. I'm like, holy smoke! Like, they're just everybody, all the goats are just getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like, this is so crazy.
Yeah, they deserve it for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm just so excited. There's a lot of stuff coming up too with 287. But that's in April, right?
Yeah, and should be a very good card as well. Got Israel Adesanya trying to get his belt back from the guy that took it away from him back in last year in New York City
Yeah.
against Alex Pereira, the
Yeah.
rematch.
I'm excited for that one because I remember watching the last one. I'm like, this is so crazy. But what do you like? What are you looking forward to in this fight? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I think Izzy will win this one for sure, or not for sure, but I think Izzy will win it.
Yeah.
He learned from his mistakes. Um, Alex Pereira is a dangerous guy, and I felt like Izzy was just a little too comfortable, especially in the fifth round, which apparently last year was full of all like fifth round miracle knockouts and finishes. And like, of course, Izzy had to be on the opposite end of it. And here we are talking about the rematch. Alex has the belt. Izzy is trying to get it back. And then guess who else is making his return to the octagon in April?
Is that?
Jorge Masvidal.
That's right. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm kind of excited about Jorge coming back. What about you?
Man, me too. He's fighting Gilbert Burns though. Gilbert
Yeah,
Burns is dangerous as always.
he always is. Gilbert's always been a crazy guy in that octagon, but he's going to be facing another crazy guy too in the form of Jorge. I mean, that's going to be a super exciting fight too. I mean, what do you like? Gosh, I think Jorge's going to be crazy to guy to watch too. I mean, that fight too. I mean, I don't really know who to pull for. I love Jorge, but I also like Gilbert too. So, who are you pulling for?
It's a heck of a co-main for sure, but I would probably sadly as a Jorge Masvidal fan, I would say Gilbert though because he's very fast on his striking and he actually has better wrestling.
Yeah,
Jorge doesn't wrestle much. Seen in the Kobe Covington fight. If
yeah,
Jorge beats Gilbert, it'll be by striking,
yeah.
like pinning Gilbert in a very uncomfortable situation, like against the cage, to where he can't move fast. You had to cut him off.
Yeah, Jorge's not. I don't think he doesn't really wrestle a whole lot. Like you said, the Kobe Covington fight, but I mean, he's much more. I think his striking game is more, I guess, dominant. You know, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is Ben Askren. In his career, but that's the first thing I think of when I think of Jorge. Sometimes when I think of Jorge, I think of Ben Askren, unfortunately. But the flying knee, but with I think you're right. I think if it just sticks to striking, I think Jorge has a better shot. But if it has grappling or going to the ground or anything, I think Gilbert, it's gonna have a better fight or better chance.
Yeah, easily. And I heard these two have bad blood, so
Yeah,
who knows? This could be a striking war.
for sure. Just go at it in the middle of the ring, do that some of that what's it called, dirty boxing kind of dirty boxing type thing. Just go on there and just slug it out. But he said bad blood easily makes for good
Yeah.
fights. Makes for good fights, I think, sometimes because you're going in there to tear another guy's head off. I mean, that's what you want, right? You're going there with a fight with, you're going to a street fight pretty much with rules, pretty much.
Oh, absolutely.
So the fact that Jorge and Gilbert are going to be in an octagon with bad blood, I think everybody and their mother's going to watch that fight.
Oh, for a fact. And like they were talking about it for a long time. They were like uh talking to each other on Twitter, doing all this other like stuff on social media. It's finally a done deal. We finally get to see it, and cannot wait to see what happens in April.
No, I'm pretty stoked about that too. That's going to be a great pay per view. 287. We got a lot of stuff, good stuff coming up. Title fights, non-title fights. We got a lot of like up and coming guys coming up. I'm so excited about the state of the UFC right now too. It feels like overall, that's what I think.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean like even the fight night cards have been
Yeah,
delivering like the whole main event. Like, did you see the Chito Vera versus Corey Sandhagen last
No,
week?
I didn't see it, but I heard some about it. I heard a little bit about it. Yeah.
It was
What?
like
Go ahead.
pretty entertaining.
I really like. What was like? What do you like about it?
Both guys were like are really good strikers, but Corey Hagen actually showed a little bit of grappling. He like
Really?
took Cheeto down like either two or three times, and like at the beginning they didn't even touch gloves when they met to the center. They did not touch gloves.
Oh, really?
They, they just like started like going at it. But if you look at the faces of both fighters, it looked like Corey Sanhagen was wearing most of the damage. He was all bloodied up right here, uh,
Yeah.
and then like in the nostrils. Cheeto Vera seemed to be busted up only on the head. Corey Sanhagen was throwing some good elbows in the on the ground. So yeah, but Corey Sanhagen got the win in decision.
Oh, really? So did the doctors ever come in at all, or no? Was it a big concern?
Nah.
Cool. I didn't know because I was like, sometimes if like a lot of stuff that's coming out, doctors would come in. And every time that happens, I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? So I didn't know if there any doctors came in or not for that fight. Do a medical stoppage, whatever.
Yeah, Doctor Stoppage, that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But yeah, that sounds like a lot of good stuff too. Even like non pay per view fights that are just regular on regular television is pretty pretty good to watch. Every now and then I'll tune it on and watch. But yeah, I'm so excited for the pay per views. Even everything, I'm excited for everything. With baseball and UFC. But another quick thing too. Sorry, I don't know if you're super busy or not, but one last thing. We'll talk about. We're wrapping up March Madness. You know, I mean, our beloved Texas Longhorns, had a good
Mm.
long run in it. Overall, your thoughts on March Madness and your thoughts on the Longhorns season coming this far, ending.
Sucks that we are at the Final Four already because I really enjoyed this tournament. It was a whole lot of fun. I felt like it went by so fast.
Yeah,
And Texas Longhorns, dang man, so close. I mean, they had a 13-point lead against Miami, and then all of a sudden, just these refs, man, just were calling bad calls on the Longhorns all second half. They called some bad calls on Miami too, but I felt like Miami got most of the calls. I mean, you see like Miami basketball players like throwing their elbows
yeah,
against Texas defenders, trying to get separation. They never called any of that, and like I really wanted to rip on these refs. Like I don't know. I felt like these refs were kind of terrible in the Miami and Texas game. Should be investigated really because like there was a whole bunch of calls being called on Texas and hardly any on Miami throughout the game. So
yeah.
it was a good run for Texas.
Most definitely. I mean, obviously we got far. I wish we would have gone further, but there's a lot of calls in that Miami game. Just like you said, kind of like that. Old school Detroit Pistons. Bad boy era type calls. It seems like going on with the elbows and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah,
this sucks, dude. I mean, obviously, I was talking around with my brother after the game. I was like, how much money does the basketball team's booster need to raise in order to get Mike Brown to coach them? Kind of give him a hard time, because it felt like Mike Brown's the only one who pretty much sounds like to win a national title, but this stinks, I mean, I was, we got far though. If anything, we got to, was it the Elite Eight, right?
yeah, it was the Elite Eight. I wanted to go to the Final Four though. My Final Four, I'm going for UConn versus FAU
Oh, really?
to go to the finals.
Yeah, I think UConn too. I think I'm looking at the Final Four. Excuse me. I was looking at the Final Four also, and I'm like, out of these teams, I think UConn can go. But that's the thing about March Madness. It's like you never know. Like we've heard teams that we never played or like heard of. Or like if you would have shown me a map, and I'm like, he lists off like a name of colleges. I'm like, okay, I do not know what state these colleges play in. And like you get, like, I've never heard of these colleges, or don't know what state they can even be in. But they're some of them are pushing for a Final Four or going to the championship. I'm like, this is so crazy. I mean, yeah, it's so crazy. I think UConn though they can do it.
I'm going for FAU to win it all, though. I just think it's cool to see a small school just go out there and just win it all. I feel like they took out one of the most
Yeah,
dominating teams. They took out Tennessee, which was a tough team to beat. They took
yeah,
out Kansas State, who is a tough team to beat. I feel like FAU has it all.
for sure. That's going to be exciting. These Final Four and the finals are going to be the two probably biggest games to watch. Obviously, we're narrowing in more and more. So super stoked to see how this is going to wrap up. March Madness is going to wrap up.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, pretty much I think covers it all. Is there anything else that I feel like I might have missed on, or we might have missed on?
I think you got all of it, man.
Cool. I mean, it's not football season, unfortunately. We would have talked about the Cowboys if we could, but we would have covered legitimately all of it. But yeah, baseball season finally starts today. A couple hours. Hopefully, the Rangers will be winning. Hopefully, Jacob DeGrom will be completely just done complete heat.
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready for it. I think we either play at 4:05 or 7:05. Can't remember, but should be a fun time.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Matt, this was a fun time too, and I can't thank you enough for coming on, dude. I mean, thank you for making time out.
Yeah, absolutely. Felt good to do this again. Thank you for having me, and I
Yeah,
cannot wait for the next podcast.
yeah, for sure. We got to go on. When 287 or 287 gets closer in April, we got to talk about that one too.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Hopefully, the Rangers will be having a good start. But so thank you for Matt coming once again, and thank you to everybody listening. And hope you have a great rest of the weekend and week. See ya.
See you later.